Hi everybody, Janine Labella here with Labella Planners. Thank you for tuning in. This is our 4th episode of Behind the Bouquet. We're here with John Bilski from Bilski Productions. So you might notice a bit higher quality of production here. This is all because we're at a videographer's studio, and John has been frantically running around setting this up, so thank you.
Absolutely.
We will hire you each week to do this.
That's what I like to hear. Perfect, I'm available.
Wonderful. Tuesdays, 11:30. So I'm so excited to connect with him. John and I have been working together for a couple of years. It kind of started one time, and then all of a sudden, like for the next 4 weekends, we were working together, and it was very fun. We have a good time. We laugh a lot. I have a smart car that, well, you guys know I have a smart car. It's about this big, and John has like the biggest truck in the world. And so
I can fit you in the bed of my pickup, which is perfect.
I just like appreciate when he gives me a ride. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is John Bilski. I own Bilski Productions, the owner-operator and the lead cinematographer. So basically, I've been doing this since I'm 19 years old. I'm 35 now, so I've been doing this 16 years. I love what I do. And because of that, I hope it shows in our films, and people seem to dig what we do, and we like to have a lot of fun with us, and we have like that fun style as opposed to the overly dramatic. You know.
And born and raised Long Island?
Born and raised in Long Island. Actually, my office is in St. James, and I lived in St. James most of my life. And I grew up in Smithtown School Districts. I learned most of my video stuff from making skate videos in high school at Smithtown High School, and that's where I learned pretty much the majority of the stuff to get me involved in this. Did
you skate as well, or
I did skate as well. I didn't improve in skating because I was filming all the time, but fortunately it worked out in my favor.
Lovely. How'd you get into, well, you got into the industry, just you found a love for the video camera. Do you watch the show The Goldbergs, or have you heard of it?
I do, yes. And I really like that show because the kid's so involved.
So you had like a camera attached to your hand at all times?
Pretty much, yeah. I used to, and you know, we used to just have a lot of fun, and it was actually like the starting days of like the TV show Jackass. So it's, you know, we all tried doing that stuff in high school, and that's what, you know, just making edits of me and my buddies. And then, you know, one year I had to get my dad a gift for his birthday, and I said, let me put a video montage together. So I put together all old home movies of me and my sisters growing up. And then halfway through the video, it flips to old 8mm films of my father and his brothers growing up, and like his parents and everybody, you know, and family. And I got an emotional response from him. You know, he might not be happy if he's watching this, but you know, I got him to cry. And ever since then, that's, you know, when I realized that I actually had a talent in something, and I realized that that's what I want to do for a living, is make people cry.
Yeah,
what better way than weddings?
Definitely catapulted on that. So what was the first camera you ever bought?
It was a Canon camera. I remember my mother got it for me for my, I believe it was my 16th birthday, if I can remember correctly.
So you didn't get a car, you got a camera.
I got a camera, yeah. And you know, it was definitely, you know, I wanted a particular camera because it had a color viewfinder. I could put a little fisheye attachment. You know, I had very specifics. I'm the same way now when I buy gear. I do a lot of research, and then I finally buy it.
Is there one tried and true camera that you have? One that you've used like for 19 years, or?
I mean, so when I started in this industry, everything was standard definition, but it was digital. So we started with like the mini DV and DV cam tapes, big shoulder cameras, you know, the light on top, you know, just the old school video guy. And then as the world kind of changed around 2010 in terms of camera gear, everybody was going HD, and these cinema camera, the DSLRs were coming out, and they were very popular. So we kind of started with Canon gear, you know, in terms, because we kept on building lenses, and then you replace the cameras themselves. So now we use Canon cinema cameras like the C100, and my main camera is the Canon 1DX, which is just a power horse. Nice. Yeah.
Can you remember the first wedding that you ever shot?
So first wedding I ever shot was when I was 16 years old. Someone came to the high school and asked, you know, for your two best guys to film this wedding. Yeah. So they paid us $300. Nice. Sorry, ladies, we no longer have that same rate. But for $300, we shot and edited. So me and my friend Cheryl, who's getting married this coming October in Colorado, and I'll be filming it in Colorado, which I'm looking forward to. And it was at the Thatch Cottage, which is no longer there, in Centerport. And I didn't know what to do. You know, my teacher guy gave us like a little bit of an idea of how we should film it. So I was center camera. Cheryl was the bride reaction, and I remember during the ceremony going up to her and go,
You got it?
Just stand here? I don't know. And it was a Jewish ceremony, and I had never been to a Jewish ceremony before, so everything was new to us. They had the horror and everything. We're running in there, grabbing lights. What? Someone's on a chair. We better go. So that was my first experience. I can only imagine what that video looked like.
I think we need to find that.
Yeah, that was a rough one. But we've improved.
I think so. We can safely say that. So you touched upon, traveling.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work? Like, do you check your bags at the airport with these cameras, or?
So we just this past May we had a wedding in Punta Cana, which was awesome. That. Oh my God, it was incredible. So basically, what we do is, me and my right hand, Jason, and my best friend, and he's tremendous. We love working together. He came to the office a couple days beforehand. We kind of figured out the cases and everything. I actually bought some smaller gear to fit inside the cases, rented some stuff to make sure we had everything we want. All the very expensive things that if they break and we can't shoot was in the carry-on case, and everything else went in the other cases. Tripods went into our regular suitcase and everything, and then we were able to make it work. So we just got to trim down all the stuff that we normally bring.
So you can go anywhere.
Absolutely.
And what's it like? So you might have been to the Dominican Republic before, but how is it going? And then, finding those special spots for the first look and all those moments. Like, did you arrive the day before?
Well, so we got there a couple days I guess it was the day before. Yeah, there ended up being a rehearsal dinner, so we covered that. But honestly, and we did walk around the property. We'd never been there before. A lot of times, whether I'm going to a venue that's out of the country, out of the state, or that I've been to 100 times, I don't want to have the same video all the time either. So I'm not necessarily doing the same exact thing in every video. Sometimes we go to holes 20 times in a season, but I don't want the same. I'm not going to have the bride and groom in the same spot at the same time. I want to change things up a little bit. We're looking for light, and a lot of times we're with different photographers as well too. So we got to make sure that everybody accommodates for each other. Teamwork. And
I always mention that. So I have a bride for next August getting married at Ohika, and the photographer that she's thinking of using had never been to Ohika before.
Right.
So she was like, is that okay? And I said, you know what? I kind of enjoy when they may not have been there before. They find the different crevices or something to make it really special and personalized. Then they, kind of shoot with a different eye. So I definitely think that's an important point.
Yeah.
Like, don't just turn away anybody because they haven't shot there or anything. We're all seasoned pros at this. So a wedding runs kind of the same way. So we can all kind of pick up and go with it, on any occasion.
Right. And speaking of Ohika is one of those places. The property's so big. So
there's a different bush for everything.
Yeah. So now that I've been there a number of times, I like to say, make sure you extend a little bit of time for creative, because we want to hit the property.
Yeah.
So we have a good flow over there as well. All right, let's start in the front with the two of them. They kind of work our way to the back, then do bridal party in the back, that type of thing.
Yeah, and of course you play the Taylor Swift song.
Yes, I have actually filmed at Ohika Castle for that Taylor Swift video song with the Sweet 16 girl.
Oh, that's
yes,
fun.
if you're wondering.
There you go. So you do more than weddings.
Yes, we do everything.
So what does your team look like? You said you have a right-hand man, Jason.
Right. So Jason's my right hand. So Jason comes on every job with me. And if we have multiple crews on the day, say we have multiple weddings, which does come up, we do have multiple teams. So now Jason will go out, and then we'll add on second shooters as well. So this way, and I have a team of guys that we normally work with this way. It's a nice even flow with everybody.
Nice. And what's an ideal time for a client to come to you? So they got engaged, they're looking, we're probably booking similar times, like late 2019, early 2020 weddings right now.
Right.
So is that an ideal time to kind of lock you in, or should they wait a little bit?
So I always say, you don't want to wait too long. It also depends on the month. If you're getting married in a busy month, you want to jump ahead. If you're getting married in September, October, May, June, July, you want to get stuff done early, because I have bookings up until the end of 2020, and right now and it's the end of 2018. Some people want to get the ball rolling early. Great, that's cool with us. My thing is, make sure you get the hole picked out. Just make sure you have the date locked in pretty much, and make sure you love what we do. And that's the thing too. Anybody can have a name out there, but if you don't like what you're getting, then you shouldn't be getting it.
Right.
That's for photo, that's for video, that's for DJ, that's for everybody you're working with, especially photo and video, because we're with you all day. You have to enjoy our company. You have to enjoy not like Bilski Productions company, like company. We got to hang with you. I'm in your mom's room playing with jewelry in the morning. you know, you have to trust that we're going to do a great job for you and that you're going to want to spend a day. It's a stressful day. So you want to make sure people are going to feel like friends.
That's something that I pitch with my clients as well, that we, you know, they have to trust us because, you know, we're working with them for 1.5 years, 2 years, and I'm going to see some financial things, some get to know your relationship pretty well. So you have to enjoy me, you know, and enjoy all your vendors.
Right.
That's a really important point. Yeah. Thanks for bringing it up. So do you have any tricks, you know, that you kind of pull out of the bag, like for weddings?
So, I mean, not that we have tricks. You know, my big thing is be unobtrusive and kind of keep things natural. So the first thing I do in the morning is I kind of tell the bride right before we're about to direct her in something. It's usually the first thing we do is her just kind of checking out her dress. It's the first time we're going to ask her to do something. And that's when I kind of just give her a heads up. Listen, we're going to be talking to you all day. Try not to turn and do this every 2 seconds when we talk to you. Otherwise, we're going to see that. It's different when it's just photo because, you know, it's a picture and then they might talk to you. But if it's video, we're talking to you, but we want you to continue to do things while we're talking. So I just kind of tell them, try to keep it natural. Don't overthink it, okay? Let's have fun for the day. Don't look at us. I'm not here, okay? I'm just the voice in your head telling you what to do. And that kind of makes things a lot calmer for the day. And usually I don't get a chance to tell that to the groom until we do our creative session. So I'll, you know, it'll feel like a whirlwind. Then all of a sudden, oh, by the way, you know, Jimmy, you're going to have to make sure you don't look at us. We're not here, and just enjoy yourself and be in the moment with your wife. You know, that's basically it. Just try to keep it natural and, you know, have them interact, not necessarily, you know, you just having them look at me the whole day. I don't want that. It looks weird. It feels weird.
And if you can, like, I highly recommend staying calm and really enjoying every moment of your wedding day. You hired professionals that you hopefully trust and let them, you know, get their creative juices flowing, as well as, you know, put them to work. We're here to work for you to really produce your weddings. Right. So let us do what we do and, you know, you'll be in great hands. Right. So you have to work hand in hand with photographers. And I know you work with some more regularly than others. Right. Are there any obstacles or things, like, do you kind of follow their lead on the day of? Is that how it works? No, so we kind of go hand in hand. So a lot of times, listen, we do a decent amount of work. You know, we're out there every weekend, especially during the busy season. You know, we're cranking. In fact, you know, in a couple of weeks, we finally have a weekend off, so I'm really looking forward to that. But you know, if I don't know the photographer, I'm going to reach out to them and say, hey, I went on your website. Oh my God, I saw your stuff. It looks fantastic. We're going to have a great time. And I kind of let them know how we like to work the day too. I let them know what time I'm starting, why I get there a certain time. And I'll usually get there a little bit before the photographer. So I have time to look at the details. It makes life a little bit easier for them. And they don't have to extend their day, but I don't mind extending mine if I have to. But just, I want to let them know I'm going to play an active role as well. We're going to have a lot of fun today. You're going to get everything you need. I'm going to get everything that I need, and we're going to work as a team to make sure the couple's happy with everything. Because that's what it comes down to. Absolutely. And at weddings, in particularly, so you've been in this industry for a long time. What are some trends that you're seeing? So, like you mentioned before, you know, 19 years ago, there might have been people on the dance floor with their cameras. Like, brides and grooms don't want to see the photographer anymore or the video cinematographer. Right. And so how do you stay hidden but still get all the great shots? So one thing that we do different than others is we don't use on-camera lighting. That's a big deal with us. You know, so that's like these things? So on-camera lights are when you have the camera and the light's right on top of you. So as soon as I turn that camera, you know you're on film. There is no way around it. Okay. So by having the camera's off-camera lighting, so we set up our light stands further off from the sides, and we kind of, you know, work to see how the room is. If the dance floor is packed, we can put a little more juice up. If there's not a lot of people in there, we lower everything down. This way we're not changing the intimacy of the wedding. We're also using longer lenses. So what that means is we're able to stay farther away by getting more natural stuff, more candid dancing of the guests, which is what you really want because the guests don't want to see you. Right. You know, and nobody knows what to do. Half the time, because we're using smaller cameras than we used to, people think we're photographers. So they'll stop and they'll pause for a picture. And then I'll let them sit for a minute, and then I'll go, oh, it's video. And they go, oh, it's video. And they don't know what to do. So, you know, that's a really nice thing because that means we're really not really noticed that much. If I'm able to just kind of move around and they just think, you know, everybody wants to take a photo. Nobody wants to be on video. I know, this is big for me, all this production. You don't have to tell me. I'm used to being behind the camera, so this is a little much. That's why I, you know, might seem a little skittish. What's your favorite moment during a wedding? So a couple of moments. Well,
the big thing for me is when the couple get to see each other. Leading up to that moment in the day, you know that anxiety builds up, especially once like hair and makeup is finished. Now it's getting real. Girls are going to get dressed. Bride's like, all right, now what? You know, we're kind of directing, and we kind of tell her, listen, as soon as the girls go to get dressed, that's when we rock and roll, and that's when we're gonna, you know, get moving a little bit. And so we try to keep them occupied so they don't think about that little bit, that build of anxiety. You know, and that's another reason why a lot of times if someone's getting married at the hall, we do recommend doing a first look, because get rid of the anxiety early, because as soon as you guys see each other, it's gone. And then I think the emotion still comes back when you do a first look, because all the music is playing, and I don't think anything is lost with a first look. Oh, I don't think so. It's, well, think of it this way: if you have an emotional groom, you're gonna be emotional at the first look, and now you can have your first look without having all your friends and family staring at you. Because listen, those doors open, bride comes out at a ceremony, everybody's looking at her, oh my God. Then it's like, whew, everybody looks back just to see if the groom's crying. Okay. Now he's got to act a certain way. I don't want him to have to act a certain way. I want him to be as natural. So if they've already seen each other when they're getting married off site, or on site rather, now he can have that moment. Everybody's nice and relaxed. We get to get all your photos and video done. This way you can enjoy your wedding in the hall, which is usually the most expensive part of your day, is the hall. So why not take advantage of it as much as you can? And I highly recommend a private first look. Boom. Absolutely. Yeah. There's no need for bridal party to be there. Parents, they can come. They'll come, watch from a distance if you have to, but you know, it's a very intimate moment. Definitely by yourself. Absolutely. Do you ever tear up behind the camera? I tear up. Ever since I've had children, I cannot watch the parent dances. You may have seen me. Like, I dash out of the room. That happens to me too. Honestly, anniversary dance always got me, just because it's married couples. They're married into their 70 years old. There's so much more than just, you know, a couple. See grandma and grandpa, you're like, I've cried watching first looks. I've cried watching the bride walking down the aisle, and then I turn back and look at the groom, and he's crying, and then that has made me cry. Yes. Okay. You know, I'm a mush. I'm a baby. It's fine. That's why I do this. You know, I love making people cry, because I cry at everything. Yeah, parent dances. Ever since I have 3 boys, and ever since then, the mother's son dance. Oh, every single time, it gets me. You know, even and when we do quality control over all our films, so I look over everything that leaves here. You know, that's the spot every time I look, or like the first look with Dad, when Dad gets to see his daughter all dressed up for the first time. That's always such an emotional. I mean. Okay, so I'm a big crier as well, but I don't cry pretty. I mean, I'm blotchy. Like, it's like, pull yourself together, Janine. Like, get it together, lady. We do this every weekend. We get used to it. When a planner is on hand, do you find it like more helpful? Like, is there someone to turn to ask specific questions? Absolutely, because now I don't have to be the guy that's got to go looking for things, or the photographer doesn't have to be because that tends to fall on the photographer and videographer. Right. So you would say even like a month of coordinator, like definitely helpful. Absolutely, because one, they're going to help you tighten up your schedule so you don't have to worry about it. So they're going to take on all the stress. You know, and when you have a good planner with you, they've got, you know, you walk in the door, everything's already in a room for me. Okay. And then the next, you know, we're already on schedule. All right, you know, someone's in our ear saying, all right, get dressed in 10 minutes, so we know what's going on, as opposed to sometimes you might lose track by 5-10 minutes, and we don't want to do that. But if we're in the middle of doing something and we don't realize that it's happening, it's good to have somebody in our ear. So you're saying you appreciate it when someone says 5-minute call time? I don't mind it. In the morning, I don't mind it. Sometimes, you know, if it's someone, the limos have to leave, you know, when we're still in beautiful light, then I might say, we have to. Is there anything else you want to cover on the big day? Or, you know what, I have a question. Yes. So I know you have different tiered packages, and I'm sure one includes, you know, the whole wedding video, like from beginning to end. Like, is a most popular one like the highlight reel? So basically, we don't package things here. So everything's a la carte. Okay. And the reason we do that is, one, we want to make it more affordable for brides to be able to get in the door. So you can just book your coverage, then afterwards you can figure out your edits. You don't have to feel like, you know, you have to, you know, all right, oh my God, this, you know, once you start adding everything up, it could get a little scary looking at those numbers, especially before wedding day. But people forget, listen, we're on Long Island. Got a bag full of envelopes at the end of the night. Okay, that might be able to get you that film that you want, as opposed to getting something just to make your budget, just to get that pre-wedding budget in. So if we can get you in with just coverage, great. And then you have your edit options. We're always filming for our longest film. Okay, so this way you have the option to get a feature film no matter what, but you might not necessarily want that. at the beginning, you might just want a highlight reel. And there's some people that come in, they'll book a highlight reel, then right after the wedding, they're going to add on a short film, they're going to add on the feature film, or they're going to add on the highlight reel if they book the longer films. I personally think that the highlight reel is definitely one of the most popular currently. Okay. That's what I'm finding as a trend. But I think the short film is probably my favorite length.
And that's like a...
It's 10 to 15 minutes long.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a perfect length because now you don't have to feel like you're just getting a trailer. Okay, you've got a really beautiful film that's emotional that you're going to love. You know, that fits for every wedding. I think a 10 to 15 is like perfect. Now we do give raw footage as well for everybody. So everybody gets, so even though you're getting these shorter films, don't be worried. We still have everything there. Right. Okay, so like your family portraits are in your raw footage. You've got a lot of stuff that we're filming. So you film the family portraits? Always. Those people aren't going to be around forever. Right. So that's why it's important for me to make sure I film them. They may not make the highlight reel, but I'm going to have Aunt Susie hanging out in that picture, so I make sure I have, you know, something of her. You know what I mean? Something of the people hanging out. I'd rather have that than say cocktail hour and people shoving food in their face. That's true.
Have you ever, is there one moment that sticks out that like has made you laugh, like out of everything? Like, did someone fall in the water, or? I
mean, we have our we have a folder that all of our editors update with bloopers.
That's funny. You guys should play that like at the end of the year. I mean, I'm sure.
We've thought about, you know, putting it out to the public, but I don't know if it's public worthy.
Well, I watch it.
You know, I think a lot of some stuff is just inside jokes, just us kind of screwing around as well. But yeah, we run into people. You know, we run into, you know, ant falling is always kind of funny. Oh, yeah, as long as she doesn't get hurt, of course. Right. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some really funny moments that we've seen over the years. Usually it's speeches that maybe someone might have had a drink or too many, and then, you know, they kind of stole over. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I think I've covered all I need to. Do you have anything else?
No, you know, I want to thank you for coming in today, and I do appreciate you guys coming all the way over to St. James to see us as well. And you know, I'm glad that we were able to add a little more production value. Hopefully, you guys get a couple tips here. Oh, yeah. You know, can we borrow this? Absolutely. I'll give you an Amazon list of everything you need to get. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for tuning in, everybody. And stay tuned for our episode next week. Bye-bye. Bye.